Hey guys, you want to see me suck at something I used to be sick at? You've tuned into the right video. Remember when I played Guile's theme on classical guitar? It's one of the harder things I've done, and it's been long enough that I've completely forgotten it, and I want to go back through it and mess around with it. See how hard it feels now. Now, I do think I am better at guitar. In fact, I know I'm better at guitar now, but it's not going to feel that way as you watch this video. So suffer with me, kick back, watch me get frustrated, blah, 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 okay? So we'll start it with this beginning lick right here, and what I do now is I make sure that I can do this right hand alone first. I think this is really important especially if you're working on sections of pieces that are difficult for you. So I'm gonna solidify that first. So there's actually quite a bit of like slurs and stuff here. There's one here. There's one here. So this needs to be plucked, and these don't have to be plucked, and then this needs to be plucked, and this doesn't have to be plucked. Okay, so I don't have the right hand fingering listed in there. Nowadays I probably do PIA, probably that. That's not that bad. Da 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 da. Yeah, and that's a tricky move. This is going to be the trickiest move I think of the whole thing, at least for the right hand. I'll probably do index finger here, and then PMA for this top part here, for this. So it would look like. So, usually in these videos I kind of rush along. I'm going to try to actually not rush along. I'm going to actually try to practice it the way I would actually practice a new piece of music. All right? So, that's pretty tricky. I'm just figuring out exactly what fingers to use. Probably index finger and then thumb and ring. Like this. That would be nice. I think so. So now that I know exactly how I'm going to do it with my right hand, I'm just going to spend some time doing this lightly and focusing on making it feel as easy as possible. That's really the key here, is that I'm making it feel as easy as I possibly can. So often, like you're quick to get to the finish line, all right? And so when you try to just jump the whole race and get to the finish line, it actually takes you longer to get there. And it can help to make sure I'm doing the right hand fingers at the correct time if I hum the melody or sing the melody in my head. Because obviously some of these are going to be like hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff. And the thing is, right hand alone practice is so insanely valuable because the right hand is what drives the sound. It's the one that creates all the sound. It's also the one that's most in control of the rhythm, okay? And as soon as you start adding left hand to stuff, there can be a tendency where unless the thing you're playing is really well within your technical threshold by like pretty much the first session, it can be the case that if you start taking on too much stuff, you take too much onto your plate, you're going to compromise some of the ease and some of the rhythmic accuracy of that right hand. So, that's a weird move for me. Pulling my index finger in and then doing PMA. Oh. So when I find a thing that's weird, that feels strange, I want to spend a little bit of extra time on that thing, making sure I can make it feel easy. And this is a process that sometimes with certain things will take frickin' like months. Okay, I'm going to just stick to that first measure, and what I'll probably try to work through is the whole intro and then a little bit of the, when the piece actually starts and we start getting some slaps and shit, okay? But I've always thought that it's a cool intro and it's a tricky intro. I know there's no slaps in this intro yet, but I remember it being one of the hardest parts of the song. Now I'm going to do a little bit of left hand alone, mostly that. So I need to hear this. So I need to hear this note, and I really need to hear this one when I'm doing the left hand alone, because those are the notes that actually technically should make sound if I'm doing left hand alone, because they're a hammer-on, a pull-off, and then another pull-off. And it's really hard to get that. Yeah. And I'm trying to keep this as easy as possible as well. Now my left hand is starting to feel a little bit fatigued. Soon as I feel a little of that, I'm going to move back to the right hand. This chunk right here is going to be the most effective thing for me to work on as far as the right hand. So I've isolated a left hand thing to work on, and I've isolated a right hand thing to work on. That's the ideal thing, in my opinion, for a practice session, because it allows you to keep tension really, really low, because you can switch back and forth. I can go work on that accuracy, make sure those pull-offs are feeling good. I'm hearing the hammer on. And then I can bounce to the right hand and work on just the thing that's giving me the most problems, which again is going to be that. This probably seems really, really boring for you guys, and I do apologize for that, but this is really, it's by far the fastest way to get something up to speed and to really improve your technique. This is what you have to do. There's an insanely good book on guitar technique. It's my favorite book I've ever read on guitar technique, and it's a book about piano technique. It's called The Fundamentals of Piano Practice by Chon Chang. It's actually free online. It's a really weird book. Or the author talks about, when you're acquiring technique on piano, you always want to do it hand separate. Most of the time when you're getting to a section in a piece of music and you're screwing it up, a lot of times people think it's an issue of synchronizing the hands, but more often than not, I'd say 9 times out of 10, it's actually an issue of either the right hand's not doing its job correctly just on its own, or the left hand's not doing its job correctly on its own. Or when you put them together, all of a sudden now the right hand is not doing what it should be doing, or the left hand's not doing what it should be doing. And then the final thing that could be happening is they could be doing the correct things, but they're out of sync. And unless you know you can do something right hand alone, with perfect rhythm, it doesn't really even make sense to add the left hand yet, I don't think. I mean, maybe there's some exceptions to that, but we want to make sure that the right hand is all the notes are happening at the right time, and they're happening very consistently at the right time. And then we think, oh, it's a synchronization thing. No, it's just that, the right hand's it's lagging here, or it's speeding up here, or whatever. It's not getting to that note fast enough. Dude, this is probably not a very entertaining video. I'm feeling a little bit more educational today. Educational, Sam. I should have left my glasses on, bro. By the way, hey, real quick, if you want to work on your technique, if you want this tab for free, you can click down below. I've got a link for you. You can get this tab for free. Yeah, check it out. And you can also book a call with me if you want to potentially talk about this tab, or if you want me to look at your technique, tell you what's going on, see if you got any bad habits and stuff like that, okay? Link down below if you're interested. Back to work, buddy. Back to work. What's great is my right hand has now been resting, and now I can get right back into the thing that feels bad, right? It's this little section right here. And that's another thing that I use to track what I should be spending my time on. If things feel light, they feel easy, if they feel relaxed, then the hands are kind of doing what you want them to do. If there's tension, if there's consistent errors in tension are the number one causes that, hey, you need to spend some time on that particular thing that causes that tension, right? Let's try just this section, and I'm going to start adding my left hand, and I'm going to slow it back down. And the cool thing is if you work on this stuff to the point where it feels easy, that's where you get the possibility of crazy speed. I'm not going to be able to do it because I practice a lot of it. Speed without the tension, speed with the consistency, all that good stuff. That comes from making sure that while you're working on this, you're not compromising that ease, that relaxation. It should feel like you're moving the fingers in the air. That's what you really want. Hear how I'm not getting this consistently, right? That pull off right there. I have to really make sure I spend some time with that. That was pretty solid. And it didn't take me that long to get there. And the cool thing is the way that I'm building it up, it will make it the most consistent, the most easy. The goal is for this to feel easy. Now, I will tell you this. Back when I recorded this, I guarantee you it did not feel as easy as it just felt. And that's because I've been doing so much technique work lately with the hands separately and all that stuff. It's huge, man. It's so huge. And you have to be real with yourself, okay? What are the parts that are actually needing your time, are worthy of your practice time? This shit right here, it's not really worthy of my practice time. This is. And not even this. This is not worthy of my practice time either. It's just this shit right here. That's how I would actually tackle this. Now, I probably wouldn't move on from this yet. I would keep on drilling it. But for the sake of this vid, let's move on. Okay, and then we'll get to here. What do we got? Oh, God. At least we get that again. Okay, so this is not too bad for me, honestly. Now, this sucks. I freaking hate this. Let me tell you why. So, when you have notes in succession, quick succession, and they're double notes. So, I got 2 beats that have to happen really, really, really quick. The first beat is 2 notes, and the second beat is 2 notes, and they're spaced out like this. This is kind of tricky, right? Because I really prefer to not double up on fingers if I can help it. The one exception I will sometimes make is with the thumb. All right, so if I'm looking at this just right hand alone, which again is what I should be looking at, it's this move right here. I guess it's not that bad. This one sucks though, right? Because if I do thumb, thumb, and then thumb again, that's so much movement of the thumb. But it might be the best way of doing it. The only other way I can think of is to do thumb and A finger, I and M, and then I got thumb free. So that's probably, honestly, that might be the best, technically the best way to do this. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with that. Let me see. Another thing you could potentially do, which I definitely did not do in this, is to squeeze these a little bit closer together to give my right hand a little bit of an easier time. Right? I'm getting blasphemous here because this is not how I did it in the video. But something like this, even though it's a little bit more difficult with the left hand, just a tiny bit, it might be significantly easier with the right hand. And I think it would be, right? Ooh, hold on. Oopsies. This. Yeah, there we go. This is nice, okay? I go here, and I can go here. Then I'm going to have to take that 2 and put it here, but I think that's fine. That's nice. I have no double fingers. That's perfect. Right, so I'm doing thumb and A finger, I and M. So we got ba-ba, ba-ba. And then my thumb's available, right, because it didn't have to play on this chord. It played on this one. Ba, ba, ba. Okay? And I'll probably do the same thing for this right here. P and A, I and M, probably. And again, this is some shit that I would work on just right hand alone. Until it feels easy. And when you work on this shit, you want to keep it light. You want to keep it light and relaxed. Usually playing quieter leads to a deeper sense of relaxation and can help you sort of weed out tension. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Let me at least run through the whole beginning part. I'm going to absolutely massacre it. It's not going to be good. Okay, one more time. and then we do this shit right here. Oops. Not enough time to actually ingrain the things that I'm figuring out here, but I can tell just from working on this much if these little tiny chunks like this, if I can do ba 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 ba, if that's doable, then I know the whole piece is doable at that speed, theoretically. So if you can do the little tiny transitions, and usually within a session, you'll be able to do you'll be able to test little tiny chunks of it at full speed. As long as all the little chunks work, you can do it at full speed. All right, and now we get to this section. Let's spend a little time here. I don't think this section is going to be quite as bad. Now, I know I've only gone over like a tiny bit of the song, and I'm not going to do a ton more. I don't want this video to be like a freaking hour, but I want to hit a little of this main part. And then what happens here? Now it is kind of funny. I have a whole arranging course, and I use this Guile's theme as an example in the arranging course as what you can do with the bass potentially, because the bass line that I'm doing here is so different than what's actually in the song. And the bass line in the song is sick and it's crazy, but I am 1000% not doing that. And you didn't even know that. You didn't know, and you didn't care. Maybe you care now, but you didn't before because you didn't know. Because if you arrange it the right way, it doesn't matter. You don't have to copy the exact bass line. Mostly what you want to do is you want to be filling in space. Okay, for example, this one right here, right? This 3 right here, I don't know if it does this in the song, but I'm not doing this 3 because it's done in the song this way. I'm doing this 3 because there's a big gap here. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. Right? It's fill space. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what the hell? Oh, I remember this being. Oh, okay. I remember it being like, oh, bro, I'm so sick for this. So this is a hammer on, right? We go, but then you also pluck a high note at the same time. I think our boy TV on guitar, who also does just insane, has done a couple crazy Street Fighter covers. I feel like he does this kind of crap a lot, where he's hammering on, but then he's also like plucking a note with his right hand. Just makes it so much more possible than having to pluck them both. Again, I should be working on this right hand alone. It should be P-A-P-I-A, so Buddha, and then probably P-I, and then P-M-A. Probably. When you break down a section like this, you'll even notice within that there are certain parts in that, and just that amount of notes, and it's not very many notes, right? It takes up like a second of time, that there's certain spots in that are the hardest spot in that, and then you can isolate even further and get more efficiency out of your practice. That's nice. And then what'll happen, as soon as you add the left hand to it, you're going to start to compromise this crap. This stuff is going to start to suffer because you're loading up your nervous system with too many tasks. All right, so you want to get this really automatic. It feels so much better. That's nice. It also helps to play the thing really, really fast and really sloppy and light. So low volume, very, very fast, very, very sloppy to figure out, hey, ultimately, what is the hand gonna feel like? That's the fastest way to feel what the hand should feel like at the highest tempos, okay? And I can take this motion, okay? I'm not doing it very good, but I can slow that motion down. And And I can see, okay, that's what my hand has to do. A lot of times people are working on motions that can't be sped up. It's like you're practicing walking, hoping that it's going to get you to run like, you know, Usain Bolt. Crazy that guy's last name is Bolt. And then when you add the left hand to it, now I haven't worked on the left hand pretty much at all here, which I would need to. All right, I'm gonna run it back just a little bit. There we go. Shit. And notice that the slap goes away there, right? I'm not trying to do a slap here. Maybe I should though. Maybe that would be sick. All right, just a little bit more time with this. Good Lord. It is annoying though. I'm telling you, this kind of breaking shit apart and working on these little chunks is the fastest way to get something where you really want it. It's maybe not the fastest way to get it good. Like, let's say I had to perform this, you know, in 3 days. This is maybe not how I would do it. But if I want to get this thing as good as it possibly can be in the shortest amount of time, well, actually not in the shortest amount of time. Like, let's say the ultimate version of this, the best version of this that you could possibly play, we want to get to that the fastest. Not the fastest that we can get to a sloppy, kind of crappy version of it, but what's the fastest way to get to that ultimate version of it? This is how you practice. And you know what? I think I'll run through what I got so far again. And then we do this. Shit. That's hard. Oh, that's wrong. It's supposed to go. It's supposed to go. I can never get those sevens, dude. I never hit them. I'm going. That's the end of the video. I'm not going to do any more. I just wanted to give you a taste of what it would actually look like to start relearning this thing again, and to give you some tips while you practice stuff. If you want to get better at practicing, if you want me to look at your technique, and if you want this tab for freezies, click down below. And if you would like me to look at your technique, I would be glad to do that. There's a way to schedule that after you get this tab for free. Okay, click that link down below if you're interested. Whip into the Guile's theme and do some hand separate practice, bud. Okay, I think that's what you're missing. Over and out.